What's going on, everybody? We are back with another video. Um, Today I was at work reading my audio Bible, or listening to my audio Bible while I was working, and I came across a passage that I had to jot down in my notes because I really wanted to read it with you guys tonight. Thought it was a really good one, especially if you are single or you could even be in a relationship or any of these things. But I think it just really applies to everybody in the sense of if you follow Jesus, this should be your mindset when uh, being uh, lustful, or it's okay to have a sexy relationship. It's a lot to get into. We'll just get straight into the passage and talk about it more after we're done. So we'll be talking or reading together Proverbs 5. And this is the Passion Translation, so it's going to be called Avoid Promiscuity. But in the New Living Translation that I read it in earlier, it had a different title. But wherever you're reading it doesn't matter. Let's read it together. It says, and this is Solomon talking to his son. He says, "Listen to me, my son, for I know what I am talking about. Listen carefully to my advice, so that wisdom and discernment will enter your heart. And then the words you speak will express what you've learned. Remember this: the lips of a seductress seem sweet like honey, and her smooth words are like music in your ears. But I promise you this: in the end, all you will be left with is a better is a bitter consequence. For the sting of your sin will pierce your soul like a sword. She will ruin your life, drag you down to earth. Excuse my reading. I feel like I do this every video at this point. I'm just a bad reader. She will ruin your life and drag you down to death and lead you straight to hell. She has prevented many from considering the paths of life. Yes, she will take you with her where you don't want to go, sliding down a slippery road and not even realizing where the two of you will end up. Listen to me, young men, and do not forget this one thing that I am telling you. Run away from her as fast as you can. Don't even go near the door of her house unless you want to fall into her seduction. In disgrace, you will relinquish your honor to another, and all your remaining years will be squandered, given over to the cruel one. Why would you let strangers take away your strength, while the labors of your house go to someone else? For when you grow old, you will groan in anguish and shame as sexually transmitted diseases consume your body. And then, finally, you'll admit that you were wrong and say, if only I had listened to the wisdom's voice and not stubbornly demanded my own way, because my heart hated to be told what to do. Why didn't I take seriously the warning of my wise counselors? Why was I so stupid to think that I could get away with it? Now I'm totally disgraced and my life is ruined. I'm paying the price for the people of the congregation are now my judges. Sorry. And then it leads into the passage, sex reserved for marriage. My son, share your love with your wife alone. Drink from her well of pleasure, from no other. Why would you have sex with a stranger or with anyone other than her? Reserve this pleasure for you and her alone, and do not share it with another. Your sex life will be blessed as you take joy and pleasure in the wife of your youth. Let her breasts be your satisfaction, and let her embrace intoxicate you at all times. Be continually delighted and ravished with her love. My son, why would you be exhilarated by an adulteress, by embracing a woman who is not yours? For God sees everything you do, and his eyes are wide open as he observes every single habit you have. Beware that your sins don't overtake you, and that the scars of your own conscience don't become the ropes that tie you up. Those who choose wickedness die for lack of self-control, for their foolish ways lead them astray. And that's not all of, actually that is pretty much all of verse 5, just a couple more that is all, pretty much all of chapter 5, just a couple more verses. But I think that really concludes everything in the point that I wanted to make. If we start at the top of this chapter, he talks about avoiding the adulterous woman. But throughout that passage, he says she. He's just talking to his son in this moment, but this applies to all of us. We need to turn from the adulterous man or the adulterous woman, because all we're doing is ruining that preserved blessing that God had given us for the man or woman that was for us. Being hindered by sexually transmitted diseases, lustful sin. These things aren't of God, and sex is a blessing that was given to us. And when it goes down further into Proverbs 5, it goes into the passage of sex reserved for marriage, and then he starts to talk about why would you have sex with a stranger? Why would you? What were the exact words? He says, why would you embrace a woman that isn't yours? And I also like when he says, let her embrace intoxicate you at all times. Be continually delighted and ravished with her love. It's okay. As a Christian, it's okay to have a sexy marriage, as long as it's for your wife and you're ravished and exalted by her love, and her love and compassion for you and God is what arouses you. That's and the fact that she's yours and she was made for you and you made for her, or you for him and him for you. That's the true blessing of sex. Not the thrill you get out of a one night stand or a hookup. And I just thought, that was a really good passage, because sex is just so normalized in today's day and age. And Proverbs 5 is just beautiful. And I'm glad we read that together, because now I'll be able to remember Proverbs 5. I just came across that today at work, so new for me, maybe new for you. We get to learn something together today. That's about it. That's all I got. I'll catch y'all later. Bye.